So my name is Duane Jethro. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa, but I work in Berlin, Germany at the moment at the Center for Anthropological Research on Museums and Heritage. I'm a postdoctoral researcher and I work on contested public cultures, but also the cultural construction of heritage. I've just published a book on heritage formation and the census in post-apartheid South Africa, where I analyze the making of new heritage, a variety of examples from things like monuments, memorials, and museums at Freedom Park in South Africa, through to the Vuvuzela horn, as well as a commemorative day that celebrates the barbecue or the braai in South Africa. So my expertise lies in the formulas that people employ to develop, promote, and to position material cultural forms as heritage and how they do that, but also analyzing the kinds of debates that these acts of positioning actually make up. I think decolonization is a really important area now and a very important subject. It's not new. It's been there for a long time, but it is something that's come up in Europe in particular in the last 5 years or so, arising in different countries in different ways also. In Germany it's a little bit late. I think in France there have been a little bit more activism than in other countries, and the Netherlands also is a place where there's a lot of black activism emerging. And I think the question of decolonization has a different kind of resonance in European context as it does in South Africa, for example, where we have a majority black nation. The effects of decolonization for commemoration and commemorative practices is also something really important. That's a very specific question. So the workshop has been super productive for trying to think about how can we think about decolonization in this context. And what was really productive for me was to realize that, well, it's not just about removing statues, it's really about transforming the ways in which we actually think about what is a monument, what is a memorial, what is a commemoration, in fact, and also to think about who gets to claim ownership over these kinds of histories and who gets to construct and put these forms in public space and to stake a public claim to these kinds of history. So that was really significant and interesting for me. If I can make a suggestion as to some strategies for dealing with monuments and problematic monuments, in particular like in the form of statues. Today we went to visit the statue of Christopher Columbus. It's what a gargantuan statue that is situated in like the city of, in the center of Barcelona. It must be so striking and purposefully put there for the public to actually see this grand claim to discovery of the new world and anchor not only memory in the city, but also Spanish national memory in this narrative of discovery, this male narrative of discovery. If I could make a suggestion as to how to deal with a column like that, I would say take the column down, break it up into very small little pieces, package each one of the little pieces with a certificate of authenticity, and sell it to tourists and use the money that is made from the sale of this monument to fund scholarships for undocumented and black migrants that live in Spain. I think that would be a good and interesting recycling of this particular commemorative form. I think with the decolonization of museums, there's a really big concern about what will happen to these institutions if they are emptied out, so to speak. There are many solutions to this. You can house some of these migrants and run community projects out of these institutions once they possibly are vacated. So these are my suggestions. I had a really wonderful time here in Barcelona. It was fantastic to engage with the artists and the researchers, and I hope that it leads to many interesting and good things.